Welcome back to Girls Only Sports, the Playbook. This is the weekly show where we run down all and everything in women's sports. I am Candace Allen here with Kay Williams.
Back again.
We do everything around here. So follow us. What you do on all social medias on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, X, Twitch.
All branches.
All branches of social media. Do what you do. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. We greatly appreciate it. We're going to get right into today's show, some highlights and some information going around in women's sports. We're going to start in women's college basketball and this transfer portal, which, look, South Carolina is the powerhouse. We know what they can do. They only lost one player, but USC, the University of Southern California, reloaded.
Like reloaded.
They went from like 30 years of not getting recruits.
Right.
Juju staying home, and now everybody is like,
so if
come to LA.
South Carolina's Vegas, USC got to be Liberty.
Yes.
Like,
yes,
that type of talent.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
That's what that is.
Got you.
So Stanford's Kiki Iriafen, who look, we questioned the last show, like, how do you transfer out of Stanford? But we knew after Coach Vanderveer retired, things were going to change.
Right.
So Kiki is headed to USC.
That's what we wanted. We wanted to see that one too.
We did. And then Oregon State, who had like 85% of their roster entered the transfer portal just due to the Pac-12, their demise and realignment. We can talk about that all day till we blue in the face of how it's kind of disrupted all of sports. But Oregon State's Talia von Oelhoffen, she is headed to USC as well. Powerhouse super team in collegiate basketball.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it because it's giving a lot of little competition about to be happening.
Right.
Within the college game. It keeps it exciting, keeps that momentum going with the run that women's college basketball has been on. So.
You're going to have matchups. You're going to have rivalries. And these kids is young. And we already said, like, they different. They don't
different.
They don't drink Pedialyte.
No. They wasn't on that.
No. They grown women.
For real.
But I need South Carolina and Southern California to get on a schedule. Like, there needs to be a classic, a ESPN thing.
Oh yeah.
The next 2 or 3 years, they got to play each other even before the NCAA tournament.
Right, because I was gonna say, and like you said, their rosters are young, so it's a couple years worth of seeing those matchups.
Right,
so.
And they'll only just build the sport, but not to leave out our team city. Yes, we are based in Columbus, Ohio, so we got to rep the Buckeyes. Ohio State signed the number 2 prospect in the 2024 class, Jelani Cambridge, a guard out of Nashville. She's the highest ranking prospect to ever sign with OSU. And we bring back Chance Gray, who played 2 years at Oregon. She's out of Winton Woods. Ohio native, is back at home. So it looks like Cody is like,
Cody was like,
we got to retool too.
Assemble the Avengers over here in Ohio, because she was like, Juju about to be out here.
Right.
I need some. She's like, JC gone.
Yeah. I need some hitters with me. That's what that is.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. And Ohio State, even before, they weren't nothing to play with.
Right.
People like to be like, oh, it's Ohio State. They gonna do what they do, but it's not too much. They in the Big Ten, whole conversation. But I think it's gonna get competitive.
Oh, absolutely. They got a bad taste in their mouth after that second round. Yeah. It's like we gotta take it up a notch.
Definitely.
And like you said, Ohio State and USC is gonna be in the Big 10, the Big 18, 19, whatever, how many teams it is.
Still the Big 10.
But Girls Only Sports need to be in the building. So if you watch it, like, make sure we on the media list and all that good stuff.
Please and thank you.
Yeah, next season.
For that USC game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Moving on to a little bit of WNBA news. Things are starting off. Training camp has started for all the teams. If you follow any of the WNBA teams on socials, they're putting out content daily. It started multiple times on April 28th. And just a warning to all the new fans out there, or people, I don't even want to call you new fans, because we want to be welcoming.
Yes.
Fans to the W.
Yes.
Be prepared. It is going to be the Hunger Games when these cuts start.
Prepare for your heartbreak now.
Yes. Like, just prepare. It's not because the veterans are taking up space and they're not. No, these players are just that good. There will be rookies who make the team. There will be rookies who even start.
Yeah.
But just be prepared that it is going to be crazy in the next couple weeks.
Especially this year with the talent coming out. I think you're going to see that competitive. Like last year, we were shocked when certain people didn't make rosters and things. But I'm going to be more shocked when I start seeing like the veterans that's getting because these youngins is out here this year. Like
they're a little
the youngins
different.
This year is different.
Right.
So it's gonna be
tough.
It's gonna be tough.
On the veterans too, they probably coming in like, oh, we was cool for a couple years. Yeah. They putting they grown women stuff on and
they ready.
They ready to go.
A lot of them girls, they know what they got to do. They're coming in prepared. Everybody, the last couple of years has been a lot of conversation about the lack of roster spots in the W. So veterans as well as the girls coming in, they're prepared for that moment. Like, oh, I need to make sure I can make this roster. I need to make sure I'm prepared to put in that work. So,
right. So 12 teams, 12 roster spots, 144 players. That is it. That's the only amount you can fit on a team is 144 players in WNBA. So it is going to get crazy. Be prepared. Yes. Some other better news. Right. Ty Young, long time WNBA player. Got a new position for the Chicago Sky. If you don't know Ty Young, she was affiliated with Love and Hip Hop for all of my cultured fans. But I think she fits the culture that Coach Weatherspoon is building in Chicago.
Yeah. I think that's a good fit for her.
And I think she's a Chicago native, if I'm not mistaken.
She might be.
Do some research.
Let's do some research. I don't know if you telling the truth on that one. Is she from Chicago?
Let me see. No, she's not.
She's not. But like you said,
she fits Chicago.
She does.
Yeah.
I think she's a good fit there. Like I said, I think Angel, under like learning from her, I think it'll be good for Angel.
Right.
I think they'll get on well. I think, like you said, the vibe is just vibey.
Right.
Chicago is cooking up something nice right now, and I think it'll be interesting to see that training camp. I want to see I want eyes in that training camp.
For sure. Like we mentioned that before. And we'll probably say it till we blue in our face. There should have been a Hard Knocks or I don't know what the WNBA version is.
Right.
A camera crew in every single one.
Every
single one.
The behind
especially
the scenes
Chicago.
Photos and videos ain't enough.
No.
That's not enough for me.
It needs to be Big Brother WNBA.
Ooh, I like Big Brother After Dark. You know the one that used to be on Showtime? That used to be my show.
Whoa!
They used to just watch them around the house.
Right.
I just know in the gym.
For sure.
Yeah. So.
They're like, oh, look, she ain't playing hard.
Yeah, I'm like, what you cut her? Get her out of there. Get her out. Look at me hitting the mic. I'm sorry.
We would have been on Reddit pages and all that stuff talking about, you know what, she sat down for 2 hours and 15 minutes. He had cut her. Yeah.
She didn't even play the video game while she was doing it. Like, she wasn't even working on her skills in the game.
Right. And to follow along the same lines, Epiphany Prince, who once scored 113 points in a high school game. I do know that.
Yes.
Longtime WNBA player. She retired, and I wanted to highlight her a little bit just because she was hired on as the New York Liberty's Director of Player and Community Engagement Director. That's the road. That's the pipeline that you want. A longtime WNBA player now investing or reinvesting back into the league and the teams.
Right.
So at the end of their careers, that WNBA players can stay in basketball because inevitably that's what's going to make the game grow.
Right. And they're the ones that they believe in the league. They've been in the league. They want to see the growth. So
correct.
You can trust the W in their hands.
Right.
I think so. Shout out to Epiphany Prince. I was a big Rutgers girl growing up too. I liked a lot of teams. You know how I do.
Right.
UConn, Tennessee, Rutgers.
Bandwagon. No.
Right. For sure. But I was a big Epiphany Prince fan when she was coming out of Rutgers. So.
Yeah.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to her.
She had a great career.
She did. Yeah. She did. But, making space. But like you said, she's just one of those players who knows the ins and outs. She's been on the bottom floor with the league. Right. So she gets it. The last thing about the W, the Rebel jerseys got released. Mm-hmm. Now, before I get into this real quick, I'm going to need the WNBA teams to stick with a jersey for at least 5 years.
Keep a thing.
Yeah, like I thought the Aces even had it because you won 2 championships with it. Yeah. But we knew with the Raiders they were going to put in that silver.
Yeah, but let's just be our own thing.
But look, we can't keep rotating jerseys in and out every 2 years.
I ain't gonna keep buying them.
No. I tell you, I ain't. We just gonna rock an old version of the jersey.
Yes, we is.
But the Rebel jerseys got released, and we'll show them a couple of. You said you like the.
I was say the Lakers. I like the Sparks. I think they're my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm an OG Sparks girl, so I think it was like a little. I was like, oh, this is cute. Had a little splash of that.
Yeah,
it was cute. I liked it.
I liked Chicago's. I mean, they went real different.
They did.
You know what I mean?
Theirs was real off the beaten path.
Sky blue.
Yeah. I didn't mind it though. It was off the beaten path.
Like new life,
right? Yeah,
we living in the clouds now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I hear that, and of course, the rookies making sure their names are called. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark's jerseys sold out.
Yeah.
And I can bet when the season starts, a lot more jerseys are sold out as well. And it's also like an asterisk on that, not on that point, but on jerseys. You have to understand, or people have to understand, a lot of these jerseys were never made available.
Yeah.
Like even Alyssa Smith, who's on the Indiana Fever, tweeted out just a couple of days ago that you can't buy her jersey. You have to like create a custom version. So although we're excited that obviously Caitlin and Angel coming in with their excitement, that we need that to spread to the rest of the league, that there are fans out there willing to buy a lot of these players' jerseys. Right. And Nalissa is a star. Like she's not just a journeyman. No. She's one of them ones. She's a big piece.
Yeah.
And so that's just the next step to ensure that all the players can have their jerseys available, whether it be in stores, at least online, where you don't have to make custom jerseys. But I'm gonna toss it over to you.
Ooh,
after the WNBA.
Got a little NWSL.
But some soccer.
Did you watch any games yet? It's okay. I'll recap them for you. It's okay. Friday night, we were busy Friday, so it's okay. Washington Spirit took on the Orlando Pride. Tried to have a little comeback win, didn't work out for them. They ended up losing at home 3-2. Pride win. Shout out to them. Angel City took on Kansas City Current at home, and it went about as planned, I think. They lost 3-1. They held in there, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Saturday's game, North Carolina Courage beat the Seattle Reign, who's been struggling. 1-0. Chicago Red Stars took on the Portland Thorns. Thorns got out of Chicago with a 2-0 win. Utah Royals and Houston Dash have a 0-0 draw, which both teams just don't seem to have, like they just don't have it right now. Like, it's just Houston's making some changes. I think they need some time to adjust to the new people that they've got, and just making things work. And then Utah, it's always hard with expansion teams because you see certain teams, like so there's 2 expansion teams. Bay FC, I think Bay FC does still have room for improvement, but they're on a better trajectory than Utah right now. And it just seems like Utah everybody just plays their own game kind of still. I think it was a quick window from starting the season and like meshing. Right. I think there was like a little.
They're gonna need like a year or 2-ish.
Yeah. Kind of like Angel City, but we're on year 3. I'm just saying, I did bandwagon for you guys.
Shade.
But last game on Saturday, San Diego Wave took on Bay FC. They were able to win 2-1. And then the final game of the weekend, Gotham took on Racing at home. Ended in a 1-1 draw late in the game. That was an exciting one. Rose Lavelle, Ohio girl, Cincinnati, got the game tying goal late in was it stoppage time? I don't think it was. Maybe right before stoppage time. It was good to see her back though. She's coming back from injury. Huge fan of Rosie.
Oh, of course.
Love Rose.
Ohio, stand up.
Right. It was good to see her back, and Rose doing Rose things. She's so good on the ball, just making moves. Good to have her back. Yeah, and it was good. That was a good ending game. Good game to end the weekend with too, especially like all the excitement happening at the end of the game where you're kind of like, should I turn this off because it's not right. But then the youngins in Racing, that goal, that was beautiful.
They doing something different.
That was some good build up play from Racing. But Racing's like they keep tying, they keep conceding late, and I don't know, Racing. They got some things they need to do. With a couple of teams I really wanted to touch on. Orlando, Barbara Banda she's here.
Yeah.
She came off the bench for her first game last week, but then she started this week for the first time for Orlando, got a goal and an assist in her first start. I think she's going to be a difference maker, especially on the goal scoring side for Orlando. I think, I won't lie, my bias might be coming out here because I'm an Orlando OG girl.
Okay.
But I don't think Orlando's a team to sleep on this year. I think they definitely have some threats. They can get it in this league. It's going to come down to goal differential. I think they need to really hone in on the defensive aspect, not letting so many goals in, stop conceding goals. Mm-hmm. Like that goal difference in a league like this is going to be crucial towards the end of the season when it comes to winning the Shield. And I think that's something that if they can get that together, because they got some stars on it.
Now, real quick, I'm a slide in a question. Break down goal differential in the season for us.
So in goal differential is like basically how many goals have you made. So right now, I'll just say Kansas City Current, for example, because I know theirs. They've gotten 20 goals this season. Okay. But they've let in 11 goals. Okay. So in the end, the difference is 9. Mm-hmm. So the point differential is 9. So if you have the same exact record at the end of the season, whoever has the less goals.
It's like a tiebreaker.
Yeah, it's the tiebreaking decision. But since I brought them up, I'll go ahead and talk about Kansas City Current, who... Here's the thing about Kansas City.
Owned by the Mahomes.
Yes. Kansas City Current, I don't even think are playing at the best football or soccer. I watch too much. Yeah, I watch too much international. We with you. Right. I think they are not even playing at their full potential right now. They have so many things that they could work on. That front line, Bia and Chawinga, that is solid. Yeah. You bring in the fact that they got Debinha, another Brazilian, you know? In case y'all didn't know. Baby Brazil here. They got her back from injury. So she's been injured since game 1. Yeah. They got her back, and it was immediate impact. You could see the difference she makes on the court, on the field. Too many crossovers. Right. Game changer. Yeah, you can see the difference that she makes. It's so, like I said, I just don't even think they're playing to their full potential. I think, again, back to the goal differential, they've got 20 goals on the season, but they've also let in 11. They have not had a single clean sheet this whole year. Okay. I think that's going to be the key piece of them, unless they just keep cruising like they are. Right. And I mean, nobody, if you score more than anybody else. And I'm like, if nobody can catch them, I think that's like, but it's still early in the season. Yeah. Teams are going to hit their stride. They're going to start gaining momentum. They're not going to keep winning every game. Yeah. It's just, could they? They possibly could. They look like they could, but is it realistic? No. So that's going to be a big thing for them if they can get that together. As far as like, I think it just comes down to like they're so fast and they're so quick that they get ahead, but then if they get a turnover, the transition is not catching up. You just
kind of rely on that.
Yeah. So I think if they can be dangerous if they're able to get all that together. Like I said, Debinha's back and they're solid. Kansas City's scary. They're scary. And Angel City, who they played, I think they've had the same struggle for the past three years that they've been a team, closing out games. Yeah. They had a 1-0 advantage going into halftime. I believe is going into halftime. I think because Kansas City scored late. Then you even if you leave with a tie, but then you could have closed out the game in a tie. Right. In the 90th minute, you concede 2 goals. So I think, I don't know. What is it? With Angel City.
You said 3 years. 3 years. What is it? What's not clicking?
I don't know what's not clicking for them too, because it's not like they'd have too much movement within the team. They've had some pretty key players that's been there for all 3 years, if not more often 2 seasons, but I don't know. I bandwagon. I'm not gonna lie. I bandwagon Angel City. I'm a Kristen Press girly. I'm a Cindy LaRue girly. Like, what are y'all doing? Right. I think it's gonna come down to
the bandwagon worth it.
Yeah, make my bandwagon worth it. I think Kristen Press is coming back soon. I'm seeing like a lot of on-field action from her, so I'm gonna hold out hope there. But I do think Angel City needs to. They look good on set pieces, on corners and things like that. I think they really just need to capitalize on their opportunity. Right. They need to put some goals in. I don't think they've got more than two goals in a game this year, maybe 3.
Wow.
So I think that's something they definitely need to work on, but it's still early. Working out the kinks. I'm gonna have some faith. Last team I did want to touch on was Portland, 2-game win streak last week. I was excited for that. They played Chicago in Chicago, so I was excited to see how they came off of their first like really big win last week versus Houston. They won 4-1 over Houston at home. So I was curious after the change they got put in the interim coach and things like that, moved the current coach to technical director. I was excited to see if they kept the momentum from last week into the next game, and they definitely did. They were able to get out of there with a 2-0 win, and I think it's huge, especially for the simple fact Sophia Smith got a brace. That's one player y'all don't want to let Sophia start cooking. Don't
right.
Y'all can't let her do that.
Right.
You can't let Sophia Smith start. She's leading the league in goals right now. She's got 5 on the season. She's got 3 in the last 2 games.
Wow.
So she's not one y'all want to let loose.
Right.
But Portland's never a team I counted out, even when they were struggling to start the season. You never worry too much about them. But yeah, I was excited to see how they did against a team like Chicago, just for the simple fact Chicago early on this season they've looked pretty good. They switched up their tactics before this game, and I think that's where Chicago, the lack of competitiveness in the game came, because Chicago, I don't know what it is. Chicago, Mallory Swanson needs to be your focus in Chicago. Like, she needs to be the one making the run. She needs to be the one getting the ball in the back of the net. And I think the switch up just kind of shifted things around a little too much, that she didn't really get into the spaces she needed to be. So
getting your best player the ball seems like a good strategy.
Exactly.
I may not know much about soccer. I do know that.
Yeah, so I think Chicago's got some potential. They've got a lot of superstars there. Mallory Swanson, she doesn't look like she skipped a beat, which is exactly what you want from a player coming back from such a difficult injury, difficult recovery she had. So I'm very proud, very happy to see her back out there. She looks very confident.
That's good.
That's good to see. But that's really all I wanted to touch on this week.
You got to give me some games you got to give some games and some girls only sports games to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So I'm gonna learn. I know the players that you're talking about.
Yeah. You got to pick a team too.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm gonna bias and say you should pick Orlando or Angel City. I feel like you're gonna.
I don't know. You kind of shaded Angel City. I'm a low key bandwagon too. Like,
I feel like you're gonna like Angel City.
Attach me to a champion.
Right.
I got some on my shirt. Like,
I would say New York was the most recent
don't
champion,
she own
but they
Angel
struggled.
City?
Or
her daughter?
Her husband is like a part owner. In
oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah, and we won't go into
we
that.
won't go.
But shout out to him. I like him.
Okay. Moving along from soccer is to volleyball once again. Before we get started on the Pro Volleyball Federation, we are in the Central City in Columbus. Columbus Fury are here. So if we are biased, that is why.
Yeah. We won't have shame about it.
No, we won't. Not now. I mean, that's where we are. We're in Columbus, and the Columbus Fury are on a 3-game winning streak. Matter of fact, I think it was a game ago they defeated the number 1 team, the Atlanta Vibe, and they are in playoff contention. It was looking a little shaky. It was a little shaky. They're one game away, or 1 game out of 4th place for the playoffs, and that's coming up real soon. They have 5 games left on the season. Atlanta Vibe, they are the only team right now to clinch a playoff spot as the season is concluding probably around mid-May. How the playoffs go, because we had to research this. This is their first season, the inaugural season. The winner gets, meaning the winner of the championships gets a $1 million bonus. There'll be 4 teams in the playoffs, the top 4 teams. The game will be played in Omaha, will be streamed on CBS Sports Network. I shouldn't say streamed. You can watch it. That's a cable channel.
Right.
Like,
you got to pay for it.
But you got to pay for it. You got to have Spectrum on one of them things.
Right.
The semifinals will be on May 15th and the championship on May 18th. So we're just going to keep our eyes and ears there. We'll be at the Fury game on May 11th.
Yes.
see if they can continue to push. I mean, they've been dominating.
They've been
dominating.
Yeah, they look good.
They look,
especially Sunday night.
Yeah,
they 3 straight straight.
They was playing those games.
They was.
So super proud of them, and it's been exciting.
It has been exciting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's anytime there's a new league, a new team, anything, it's very exciting.
Right. And
especially in women's sports.
Yes. And it feels way better when they win.
Way, way better.
Yeah.
Love it.
And just to tie in pro volleyball in the Olympics, Asia O'Neal, who is a part of the Fury, but she got a call up to the U.S. Olympic team this year. So shout out to her. Would be awesome, Asia, if you want to do some guest spots from the Olympic in Paris, just to check in on Girls Only Sports. We would appreciate it. Yeah. All we need is a number. We appreciate it. And congrats to her. She was the number 1 overall pick for the Pro Volleyball Federation. So good luck as she starts prepping for the Olympics.
Yes.
And I'm going to tie both of these two things in the roster for the U.S. Women's National Basketball team and the U.S. National Women's Soccer team. Those rosters probably will not get released.
No. Give it some time.
Anytime soon. No. Probably like a week or two before the Olympics. It won't happen like that, but the competition for those two teams is ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah.
There's so much talent.
Yeah.
There's so much talent. So.
And the big, I don't want to say it's not a controversy, but the big talk is just for the U.S. Women's National Basketball team. Word is they're waiting for the WNBA season to start to see how Caitlin Clark does. And that'll be her pseudo tryout because she hadn't been a part of the national team preparations that have happened for obvious reasons.
She'll be there.
But, like we mentioned, it is common practice, no matter how competitive the U.S. Women's National Basketball team is, probably one outside of track and field. It's probably the hardest team to make, just the depth of talent. The best player in college has always had a spot on the Olympic team, whether it be, Shamika Holsclaw, whether it be Stewie, like it has always been a thing. Whoever was the best collegiate player, DT, like you were going to be...
Oh, you said the goat. Oh, okay.
I did not say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe mini goat.
Okay. we'll talk
about it. But the best collegiate player has always had a spot, and for me, that is not a controversial thing to have her on the team.
No, absolutely not. She'll be there
because that's precedent. Yes. It's how do you fill out those other guard, especially those guard positions.
The guard spot this season.
Whew.
Treacherous.
Like I would just expect any guard in the W just to go off the first 10 games.
Oh yeah.
To try to prove themselves to get on this team.
You have to.
Yeah. So we'll be looking out for that.
I'm definitely curious to see who's going to make that roster.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And before I leave that, Candace Parker did get cut from the U.S. Women's National Basketball team. In 2016, she was about the best player in the world, her and Maya Moore, and she got cut. So that is the kind of environment that team is under. If a player of that caliber can get cut, anybody can get cut.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah. We're going to let that go. We're going to exhale.
Yeah.